So I just don't know, what model we're looking at, whether we're still in entertaining television or, timing with Brian and the cast and everything. So it's all open.
Right. It's
not done.
Early days.
Yes.
We'd find a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
You heard it. We're there about it. When?
I'd find a way.
I think.
Some of the challenges are that once NBC passes on a fourth season, that kind of dismantles a lot of our international funding. So a lot of international channels need an American broadcaster to say, like, this is the American TV show on this network, and that gives them a platform to which they can sell the show. But without that, we lose our Sony component, which is also our AXN channels, and so we've lost a lot of our channels all over the world. So that's one of the big hurdles. We don't just lose NBC, we lose AXN Latin, AXN Japan, AXN Korea, AXN Brazil. We lose all of those. So then it's back to square one to figure out a financial model for the show. Let Richard answer that.
There's a lot of body, I noticed on that little, I don't remember spending so much time without my clothes on, but no, you get 6 episodes of that story arc, which really has only been explored in 2 movies for probably 90 minutes at a time. So it's a real chance to go to that book, which is incredibly detailed, and look at the backstory of where Francis Dolarhyde came from and how he's emerged as this strange this man that's complicated and dark and at the same time innocent and romantic, and so hopefully we're gonna open that story up a bit.
Totally.
I love that.
Well, the idea for season 4.
It'd be a very weird thing for them to say, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we like you, but change.
Yeah.
The idea for season 4 is a reinvention of the Hannibal Will Graham dynamic in a huge way. So there is an opportunity to reinvent the show as well as the format in which we tell the show.
I think that, partially because we were totally freed from that, weekly crime of the week, whatever you want to call it, that more procedural element, and Brian was able to write in a much more free-form kind of way, and as a result was able to explore that kind of looping, circular nature of grief and trauma, such that it took me a while after reading the first 2-3 scripts to really understand what I at least understood him to be doing, and with the nature of time, and so it did take me a while to kind of dig down into what I understood to be rattling around in Will's head. It was different, really provocative stuff. I thought. The kind of meditations on religion and belief and so on. But it wasn't a different guy exactly. Clearly Will's always had that capacity to create a reality around him or be the victim of an imagined reality, just taken to a greater extreme.
Part of it was, I felt like if we were to sustain the Italian chapter for an entire season, there would be episodes that might tread a little water. And we had episodes still that treaded some water and that got into some psychological stuff. But it was also an awareness of the scythe over our heads, and NBC has been so fantastic and supportive of us in allowing us to tell a story that no other network would allow us to do. And part of that gentleman's agreement with Jen Sulky, who's the president of entertainment, was, I will let you do the show that you want to do, and I can protect the show as long as we're above a 0.5. And once we went below a 0.5 rating, I knew Jen wouldn't be able to protect us from the schedulers at NBC who were like, we can't sell this at upfronts because nobody's going to buy advertising at top dollar rates for a 0.5 rating. So I was aware that this was going to be our last season in many ways, so I kind of wanted to get as much in there, and I thought if we don't do Red Dragon now, we might not be able to.